So I've been asked, what is a compelling argument from Scripture for the sufficiency of Scripture? Well, if I'm going to give an argument from Scripture, that means I'm going to have to give you a Scripture reference, or at least a line of reasoning that comes from references. I just want to be careful about one word in the question, and that is the word sufficiency. That kind of depends on what you mean by sufficiency, and different people have cast it in different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the passage, and then I'm going to use the definition of sufficiency that the passage uses. That's usually the safest way to go about this. So the passage is a famous passage, and many people know it by heart. I hope I get it right here precisely. It's in 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. And there it says that all Scripture, graphe, the writings, which is an official characterization of the authoritative writings for Christianity, all Scripture is inspired, that is, God-breathed. God's out-breathing this, in a sense, through the writers, and profitable for teaching and training and correction, and there's a series of descriptors there, so that the man of God may be complete or sufficient, adequate for every good work. So the point that Paul is making there is, if you are a godly person and you want a source that will make you sufficient for those purposes, adequate to every good work, able to teach and train and correct, then the writings, the Scripture, are the source for that. I want you to notice something, though. It doesn't say that the Scripture is sufficient. It says that the man of God will be sufficient for the proper task because of what the Scriptures can bring. Now, this distinction is important because I'm not saying Scriptures aren't sufficient. I'm just simply looking at the way he's describing it. If you just say Scriptures are sufficient, then people think that if you go outside of the Scriptures for any kind of insight on spiritual matters, any kind of, in a sense, general revelation information, then you have violated this particular concept. And I don't think you have at all. Paul is just identifying, here's a source of information that's fully adequate. He doesn't say there can't be something else that might be helpful in the process. He's saying this is fully adequate to make the Christian sufficient. And so there's your biblical argument. I am not making the argument that you can't go outside. I'm not a Bible-only kind of guy when it comes to those things, because I believe in two revelations, special revelation and natural revelation. And the special revelation speaks of the natural revelation as being a legitimate source of information from God. So I'm looking to bring both of those things together. And Paul is focusing in on the role of Scriptures in the life of the Christian, which is central. This is an authority, no question at all. And it is completely adequate to produce the sufficiency of the godly person.